कहाँ चला गया? शांति, भारती, ये होगी, ये पीडीएफ है, ये है हमारी HTML वेब इन ब्राउजर, और ये इसके पैरेलल है हमारी, ये इसकी HTML फाइल है हमारे टॉप की, है ना? ये ज्यादा क्लियर है, ये ज्यादा क्लियर। हाँ, चलिए हम दोनों पर चलेंगे, दोनों पर हम रहेंगे, ठीक। See what I am going to cover: introduction to R language, basics of R, creating vector, getting summary features of data vector, defining new function, naming a vector, factor vector or categorical vector, the function is factor, concept of a factor vector, study relation between variables, correlation and covariance matrix, getting a scatter plot and fitted line, getting plotting characters and colors. काफी चीजें हमने कल कवर की हैं इसमें. Creation of a matrix using C bind, R bind, operations on matrices, then creation of a data, listed data, creation of data frame, data.frame and read.table, having a nice output cable of package net-R, creation of a data frame from Excel, graphics with R, the function curve, definition of new function, t-test, student t-test, stack data, graphic output of students analysis, another plot.design, analysis of variance. So up to analysis of variance I have already covered, but today I will discuss all these things in a different perspective. Analysis of variance, calcium trial data, analysis of variance, AOV, Tukey's honest significant difference analysis, plot of Tukey's HSD, then Bayesian modeling with RStank ARM package, find out the results of Bayesian analysis, get graphic output, intervals for predictive intervals, and then posterior interval and predictive interval, Bayesian analysis of calcium data, fitting with Stan GLM, print summary of results, get graphic output, posterior predictive check, Bayesian leave one out criteria, regression analysis with LM stepwise regression, factorial experiment with two factors in RBD, fit the factorial model, graphic summary of above object, quack plot, plot.design, box plot, then ridge regression, lm.ridge, regression with auto-regressive errors, generalized linear model, low birth weight, fitting logistic regression model, count data, Bayesian regression model, negative binomial, fitting of the model, and these are the references. These are the references. So this is the whole document which I would like to show to you. So this is the whole HTML file. Okay, these are the references. All these things are generated by the commands which are given here. देखिए बेटा, this is the bibliography, number section, table of contents, HTML document, and this is the title of the page, author's name, and this is the date, and this is the main heading, introduction to R language, and then actually these are the basics. So R is a language as well as software. This R base actually, this is the way of referencing the things. R base. We were introduced by Ras Vihaka and Robert Gentleman in 1996. The two great books that deal with computation as well as documentation are Gandrud 2020. It is a good book. I have already given the reference of the complete book, and that is the book on reproducible research. Reproducible research means virtually how you will share your things with GitHub, how you will share your document with others. So that is the concept of reproducible, and that is a book by Gandrud. And the second book is Zai. He is a Chinese who has written a book. Actually, this software R Markdown, it is all developed by Zai and his team. And actually, it is a very good book to learn how to do the documentation as well as computation. The main package for interface of computation and documentations are R Markdown. R Markdown. Actually, if you write in double star, it will be printed in bold. it will be printed in bold, and this is the way of referencing. And NIT R, these are the two packages. There are two R packages. Then R works like a calculator also. You know, I have already shown. You just run and get the results. Creation of a vector, the function C is used. Actually, if you write in backticks, it will be printed in typewriter form. So this way we can make use of these things. X, Y, we are defining the log of X, log with base 10, log with base 2, and then exponential, that is anti-log, and exponential log. So report original numbers, run them and get the result. C, getting summary features of a data vector. We get summary features of a data vector like data vectors like mean, SD, median, quartiles. Mean, the function is mean. Then mean of Y, SD of X, SD of Y, median of X, quartile function. Quantile with probability we are specifying, these are the quartiles. Minimum and maximum, and then length of the vector. Just run and get the result. See, length is 5. I've already explained all these things in my. Then defining a new function. This is the subheading. The keyword is function. In this subsection, we define function for computing standard error of mean, SCM, and the coefficient of variation, CV. The function is dumped using the function dump, and it can be sourced using the function source. See what we do here. This is the comment. Define a function for standard error of mean, SCM. This is the name of the function, is equal to the keyword function, and this is the argument of X, SD divided by square root of number of observations. So this is the definition, and then we dump it in a text file, and then we can source that. Similarly, we can define a function. Actually for coefficient of variation. So CV is equal to function of X, SD divided by mean into 100, and we dump it, we save it, we can call it. Then let us assume height of 6 students in centimeter, the vector height. Dump this data as height.dat, source it, and get standard error of height and these. So all these things can be run in a single command. These are the results. CV of SC, standard error of mean of height is this, and CV of height is this. See, naming a vector. Actually, naming is required for getting bar plot. See, just this, here we are defining a vector, then we are getting them names at A, B, C, D, character vector. We can print that, then get bar plot. See if the plot, actually there is a concept of device. Actually device or file, or this is screen. If you run some graphic command, it will show you on the screen. Say for example, I'm running this, control enter, see. This is a data vector for which we will get bar plot. So bar plot is shown here. Suppose we want that this should be saved in a file. You can have PNG file, you can have PDF file. So here I'm saving it in a PNG file. So this is the device. The PNG is the function, and here also extension is also PNG. So fig bar plot.png, this is the function. I'm running this. Now when we will run, actually bar plot, it will not shown on the screen. It will not be shown on the screen. See, ये पहले का है ये. And then when we will make device of virtually, ये पूरे को हम एक साथ करें. अभी देखिए, तो हमारा fig bar plot.png ये जो है यहाँ पर आया होगा. आप देख सकते हैं इसमें fig bar plot, fig, ये देखिए fig bar plot.png, fig bar plot.png, ये है हमारी. इसमें क्लिक करिए, आप देखिए ये फाइल बन के आएगी, है ना. This is the bar plot which you have created, and you can edit it. You can do several other things too. A device of means actually this file is a device. Once you run this command, this file will be open, and then every graphic will go into that, and you have to close the device, otherwise it will not be shown on the screen. So this is the concept of factor vector, categorical vector. You know, concept of a factor. Factor vector is a kind of categorical vector in R. It is termed as qualitative variable also. For example, gender is a factor variable. Its labels are male and female. Income is also a factor variable. and its labels are low, medium or median and high. Understand? Low, medium, you can have medium here. And I'm editing it. And high. So, ये medium में spelling U है क्या? ठीक है. I'm saying it. So these are the levels of the factor. It is created by using the function factor of R. See, it may be noted that factor variables are treated differently in R for analytics and graphics. If you are running some command, if it is a factor, it will give different graphics. If it is numeric, it will give a different graphics. We will deal with the examples. Here, male. This is a vector which is having 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. Actually, when we name male, so that means male stands for 1. If 1, it is male, and otherwise it will be female. So this is the binary variable, or this is the indicator variable. Male, you print. This is male. See, change this into the factor label. I'm writing F male, that is factor vector and male. Here we are using the function factor and labels are female and male. So female stands for 0 and male stands for this. And see what happens when we run this command. Yeah, print. See, here it was numeric vector, but here it is factor because labels is being shown. If labels is shown, that means the vector is a factor vector. Female 0, female, and then male, and then female and male. Understand? So these are the labels. It is very nice. Similarly, creating a vector of rating scale, rating 3, 1, 2. I'm running this rating. It is numeric, but you can label it. Good means 1, okay means 2, and 3 means actually the. देखिए क्या आ रहा है ये आ गया. यस प्रिंट देखिए पहला क्या है 3 मीन्स बैड, दूसरा क्या है 1 मीन्स गुड, 2 मीन्स ओके. So these things you can just generate by using a simple command, and actually it helps a lot in programming, in organizing your data. The study of relation between two variables, covariance matrix between x and y, covariance between and correlation. We can study the relationship between x and y. This is the covariance between, it talks about the covariation. And the common is correlation coefficient, 0.51. Correlation 0.51 means what? How you will interpret this correlation coefficient? Yes. How you will interpret this correlation coefficient? See how you will interpret with this correlation coefficient, beta. क्या हो गया? हेलो, आवाज आ रही है हमारी? हेलो,
हाँ जी सर, आ रही है.
Yes sir, yes sir.
How you will interpret correlation coefficient? The correlation between x and y is 0.51. What does it mean?
Sir, null hypothesis will be rejected.
This is the estimate of correlation.
Yeah.
Actually, this shows there is 51%, 52% linear relationship between x and y. Understand? Correlation coefficient is defined as it is a measure of strength of linear relationship between two variables. Understand? And it lies between -1 to +1. -1 means negative perfect correlation, and +1 means negative perfect and positive perfect correlation. And if it is near 0, that is weak linear relationship. Understand? So here it is 50%. Point. Get scatter plot. The function is plot. See.
Sir,
Yes.
what will we say? Like 50% is a moderate situation.
Yes,
So-
yes. But if
so
data
it will
is
be-
big, if data is big, then 50% is assumed as high correlation.
Okay, sir.
It measures to what extent observations are deviating from the trend. Understand? Yes, yes, yeah. हाँ,
मैं कह रहा हूँ वो इस नंबर से डेवलपमेंट में पहुंच गई है
हाँ,
और वहाँ है डीआर साहब के पास,
दिया
कोटक में विनायक साहब के पास।
अच्छा,
अब उसके बाद जाएगी जो है ना उनके पास, जमशेद सिद्दीकी साहब के पास।
अच्छा।
तो जब वहाँ जाए तो उससे पहले एक बार बात कर लीजिए आप उनके साथ।
हाँ, लेकिन आप ये मालूम करिए उन्होंने भेज दिया कि नहीं?
जी,
साहब।
विनायक साहब ने तो अभी तो पहुंची है उनके पास।
अच्छा, अच्छा।
पहले तो आई है फाइल।
अच्छा, नहीं तो उनसे रिक्वेस्ट किए वो भेज दें आज, ताकि हम थोड़ा जल्दी करवा लें, क्योंकि टाइम को जेम
हाँ,
कर
एक आध दिन है जाएगा।
हाँ। यस, सो वर्चुअली हम जब इसका अभी प्लॉट दिखाएं आपको तो ज्यादा बात समझ में आएगी। अभी देखिए, वी आर टेकिंग एन एग्जांपल। देखिए आप एक्स वाई, वी आर फिटिंग ए लाइन। हम अभी एक्सप्लेन करेंगे इसको। Here beta intercept is this one and this is the regression coefficient, and C scatter plot I am showing, and then we are adding a line. Sorry, इस पूरे को हम जब रन करेंगे यहाँ से तो ये देखिए ये बन के आ गया हमारे पास प्लॉट। देखिए ये प्लॉट है। देखिए व्हाट दिस प्लॉट शोज। हम आ जाएं अगर इस पे, जो दूसरी फाइल है हमारी। रुकिए हम जरा सा भारती HTML देखिए। See, this is the plot, है ना? See, these are the commands. This is vector x, y. This lm fit a line. The function is lm. Lm stands for linear model. Y is the response variable, and this is the predictor. And this is the coefficient, regression coefficient, beta naught and beta 1. Beta naught means this distance is beta naught, and the slope is beta 1. And this is the regression line we have fitted. So how to create them? Just these are the commands. This is to fit the linear model. Lm is a very general purpose function, and this is to report the coefficients, regression coefficient beta and beta 1. See, this is the regression coefficient, and virtually what correlation measures? Correlation measures to what extent they are closer to the line. है ना? बात समझ में आ रही बेटा? To what extent they are close to the line. This is measured by, hello?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, आप लोगों को ग्राफ समझ में आ रहा है? To what extent they are closer to the line. Understand?
Yes.
लाइन से जितनी ही ज्यादा हमारी जुदाई होगी उतनी ही जो है वो कमजोर कोरिलेशन है, और जितने ही लाइन के करीब होंगे पॉइंट्स उतने ही हमारी
High
स्ट्रॉन्ग
correlation.
है ना? ठीक।
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो इस तरह से हम इसको मेजर कर सकते हैं, इसकी बातें हम कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, देखिए आप ये लाइन से जुदा है थोड़ा, तो इस वजह से जितने ही इस लाइन के करीब होते तो उतने ही जो है स्ट्रॉन्ग कोरिलेशन होता, और जितनी ही जुदाई है उतनी कमजोर कोरिलेशन है ना? एंड व्हाट दिस regression coefficient? How you define regression coefficient? 1.15. How you define regression coefficient?
Sir, high correlation.
No, it is not correlation. It is regression coefficient I am talking.
Oh, regression.
1.15.
So, sir, impact of X on Y is high.
No, it is not. It is not. Regression coefficient talks something different. Actually, it represents change in the response, change in Y for unit change in the input
X.
value. Understand?
Yes,
If
sir.
you increase the labor by 1 unit, what will be change in the production? Understand? Or if you decrease the labor in 1 unit, what will be change in the production? Understand? So this is the definition of a regression coefficient. See, now we can
Average
have a
change.
plot XY, and plotting character is 16. This character is 16, and main title of the graph is this one. We can run these commands, and here text. We want to write a text in the plot. So to write this text, we have to first text and then 3 from here, 3 from here, and then 7 from here, and we want to write 3 from here, 7 from here. ये देखिए बीच में आ रहा 3 का मतलब, और 7 यहाँ से 3 7, and we want to write this text, so it will be added on. It will be added on these. See, then we can have a PNG file, fig1.png, and we can get the plot. The title is scatter plot, and we can save that. So here we have to off the device. Getting plotting character I have already discussed in my studies lecture. Now, creation of a matrix, C bind and R bind. These are the two vectors x1, x2. We are combining them. C bind means column wise binding. Column 1, this one, and column 2. Similarly, we can have row wise binding, row 1 and row 2. Then operations on matrices. This one operator works for matrix multiplication. This is element wise multiplication. This is for transpose. This one is for determinant of the matrix, and this one is solve is for inverse of a matrix. So we are multiplying the matrix multiplication, then element wise multiplication. Element, corresponding element will be multiplied. Then transpose, getting rows vectors, exchange of rows and columns. Then determinant of the matrix, then inverse of the matrix. Then creation of listed data. The function is listed data combines different type of data. For example, it can combine a numeric vector, a character string, and a matrix together in one object. X is a vector, Radha, character vector, then matrix. So they can be combined together in one object, and that is MD1. You can extract by using the dollar operator any object from here, and you can get determinant of that also. Creation of a data frame, data.frame and read dot table. Virtually, data.frame is to create data frame from the existing vectors from the text, and read dot table actually it is used when your data to read the data. Data frame is like a data matrix. It is a kind of generalization of a matrix. In matrix, all the elements must be of same type. Here, in a data frame, a numeric column can be combined together with a column of logical or binary with a column of characteristic. Like this is a numeric vector, this is also a numeric vector, this is binary, and this is a characteristic. So all of these cannot be combined in a matrix, but they can be combined in a data frame. So the function is df1, the name of the data frame, data.frame, this is the function. Height is the first argument, second is weight, female, and name. So they are organized into this form. Print df, this is the data frame. These are numeric, binary, and here it is characteristic. We can save that write.table. This is the df1, this object which was created, and it is being saved into a file df1.txt, a text file. You can read, if you have the text file already created by someone, you can read the data. You can read the data, and this is the file, and this is the header is equal to true. Header is equal to true means the first line is the name of the variable. The function read.table can be used to read data from a website also. Just give the full path of the file like https df1. Understand? So if you give here the full path https of the author, because mostly authors are providing data on their home page of the book or on some website. So from there you can directly read your data and you can analyze that data. So this is the flexibility of read.table. Having a nice output of the data. This is the data which is like this, but you can have a nice output. The function is केवल init r. बहुत अच्छी तरह से टेबल बन के आ जाती है. अगर लेटेक में जाएंगे जो इसका पीडीएफ वर्जन है तो वहां और हसीन लगेगा ये. There is no need of typing anything. It will just generate the table. Creation of a data frame from Excel. This is a very important aspect. Excel जो है हम इनको क्या कहते हैं? Excel को, Excel के लिए हम क्या यूज करते हैं? टर्म. मैके वाले. Excel वाले कौन हैं? मैके वाले हैं. क्यों मैके वाले हैं? क्योंकि लड़की जब ससुराल जाती है, चाहे कोई भी उम्र हो उसकी, है ना, जब वो अपने मैके किसी आदमी को देखती है तो उसको बहुत खुशी होती है, उसको एक फ्रेंडली इन्वायरमेंट नजर आता है ना. तो इस वजह से जो है हम इनको, अगर आप इफ यू आर एबल टू क्रिएट your data from Excel, it looks very friendly. So you can create your data into Excel and directly you can call it into R. Understand? So that I want to show to you. देखिए एक मिनट, यहाँ पर हमें देखिए, what is the procedure? We can create data into Excel and call it into R as a data frame. Note that, data frame is not a data file like in other softwares. Understand? Data frame is a rectangular array like this object, which is meant for data analysis and graphics. So it is not just data file .txt file or .csv file, but data frame is an object of R. Note that data in Excel sheet be entered with first row as name of the variables. After entering data, it should be saved as comma delimited, that is as .csv file in the same working folder, and then it could be called by R using the function read.csv. We have created a data into Excel and we have saved it as .csv comma delimited file, and then we are using the function read.csv and it will be called into R. It is very simple procedure. You can do that. You just go into Excel, create your data into Excel. The first row should be the name of the variable like height, weight, and gender, and then save that data as comma delimited spreadsheet, and then you can make use of this command. It will be called into R. देखिए, you can change the name like height, weight, and gender. देखिए, WH. Graphics with R, I have already talked about. There are three main graphics in R. Base graphics by Robert Gentleman, lattice package due to Deepayan Sarkar, I have already talked about Machli Bhatwala. Then ggplot2 due to Wickham. Wickham is a big name, Haley Wickham, actually, who has created this R Studio, and he is a big name in data science. He has written many books also, and he has created ggplot2. ggplot2 actually grammar of graphics, which is an excellent graphics. And there is one more variation of ggplot2, that is ggformula, which is also quite excellent. That is a combination of lattice and ggplot2. So, and these graphics which I am showing, they are the base graphics. We shall discuss mainly the base graphics in this document. However, at some point we will use ggplot2 of Wickham et al. 2020. I will show you. Then the function curve, to create a curve. It is a general purpose plotting function. It requires only expression or function to be plotted with the range of on x, y axis. A simple example is plotting a parabola. Curve. This is the parabola x raised power 2. From the range is -3 to +3. -3 to +3. In this range we want to plot this. It will compute as well as plot. Main title of the plot is plot of a parabola. You just run this command and you will get the result. We can create a PNG file of this curve. If you write here PDF and here also extension PDF, it will create a PDF file and you have to devise off the device. Defining a new function and plot it. Suppose you want to plot f2x is equal to, this is the name of the function. This is a function which we want to, so we have to define the function first and then use the curve f2x from -3 to +3, and this is the plot. Then student's t-test. Student's t-test is used for comparing two means. We want to compare two groups of lazy and sporty patients in terms of their average weight in kgs. Data and its analysis is reported in the following chunk. See, virtually this data I have taken from a book, and the title of the book is virtually Introductory Statistics with Python. Introductory Statistics with Python. Actually, there are two books. One is Introductory Statistics with R by Delgard, and Introductory Statistics with Python That is another book. And they have taken a lot of medical data and they have explained. So the author of the Introductory Statistics with Python writes in the preface of the book that R is better than Python because R has ggplot2. So for data analysis, actually, R is better than Python because it has very strong facilities of data manipulations as well as graphics. Graphics are very powerful in ggplot2. And there are interfaces. That's why the new packages like Stan package, which is one of the latest package, they have given interface with Python as well as with R. Understand, like RStan and then PyStan. So, and they have given the interface with MATLAB also. But at least you should know one language. So try to learn R first. And there are similarities between R and Python. Like the concept of data frame in R, it is exactly there in Python also. Similarly, virtually the simulation tools which are implemented into Python, they are exactly the formula argument which is implemented into Python is same which is implemented into R. That is an implementation of a book, a paper published in 1970 in Royal Society that has been adopted for formula in both the software packages. So there are similarities in these packages. So, and you should understand what are the similarities and what are the dissimilarities. So just I'm coming on.
Sir,
हाँ,
एक बार आप जो आर के लिए किताब के ऑथर का नाम बताएंगे जो इंट्रोडक्टरी स्टैटिस्टिक्स विद आर आपने बताया
भाई हाँ, पीटर डेलगार्ड, DAL डेल GAARD डेलगार्ड,
ओके
डेलगार्ड। उनका एक आर पैकेज भी है। आर पैकेज का मतलब ये है कि उनका जो डेटा वेटा है बुक का वो सब उन्होंने अपने उस पैकेज में प्रोवाइड करवाया है।
अच्छा,
तो इफ यू इंस्टॉल डॉट पैकेजेस और ब्रैकेट में लिख देंगे ISW इंट्रोडक्टरी स्टैटिस्टिक्स विद आर, IS then small w and then R, so you will install the package also. So all the that is also a very good book to learn statistics with R.
ओके,
ऐसी बहुत सारी किताबें हैं लेकिन ये बेसिक इंट्रोडक्टरी बुक्स हैं ये जो बहुत अच्छी हैं, है ना। एंड दिस बुक आई हैव टेकन फ्रॉम इंट्रोडक्टरी स्टैटिस्टिक्स विद पाइथन. So here this is the weight of lazy woman and this is the weight of sporty women. The length of each vector is what? 15 observations. So we are using t-test to compare whether the null hypothesis is what? That both lazy and sporty, they have same weight, where dot equal to true. And see what p-value shows. T-value is 2.09, degree of freedom is 28, and p-value is 0.04. It is less than 0.05. That means there is significant difference between the average weight of lazy and sporty. See, these are the estimates 78 and 70. See, we can create a data frame from these two. Just use data dot frame. This is the name of the column and this is the vector which I have created. So I'm creating from these two vectors, I'm combining them into a matrix form and that is known as data frame. So this is the data. This is a data frame. Now with this, what we are going, this is a function with actually you can, with this data frame, we are going to use t-test. So this is another way of calling a data. And these are the results. Students t-test for stack data. See, these are the actually stack weight ls. So I have already shown you how to stack them. In one column numeric, in another column grouping. Weight and then women, weighty and sporty. देखिए आप, हमने किया हेडर पार्ट देखा और यहाँ से टेल देखा, मैंने बताया था चेहरे का दीदार और पैरों का दीदार, नीचे से देख लिया आपने. So these are the two ways of looking into the data. Structure, this is another way. What is the structure of the data? WT stack. The structure is a data frame with 30 observations, 30 rows and 2 variables. The first weight is numeric and women is a factor with 2 labels, weighty and sporty. We can save the data frame and then we can make use of formula argument, weight numeric versus grouping women, where dot equal data is equal to WT stack. And this is the result. Names M1 I have already explained. These things you can extract, like if you want to know p-value, just use the fitted object M1, use p dot value, and you will get the p-value, which shows it is not less than, it is less than 0.05. That means there is significant difference. Now for the same data, if you want confidence interval, use M1 $confident, this one. Confidence interval you can extract. 95% confidence interval is this one. Then graphic output of students analysis. See, box plot. See what this box plot shows. We are reading the data, WT stack. Actually, we are converting them into the factor, and then plot. Here, this command is to convert women into a factor. Here, WT stack, this is the data frame from which we are selecting the column of women, and we are converting that into a factor. Convert women into a factor variable. Understand? So the command is factor. And after that, use the command plot weight versus. Here, if this one is numeric, this one is also numeric, it will generate a scatter plot. But if this one is numeric and this one is a factor variable, it will generate the box plot. See, this is the box plot. See, it shows there is difference between the two medians, and actually from above plot, it is evident that weight of a sporty woman is less than that of lazy. See, sporty, and this one is less than that of lazy. And this difference is statistically significant also. It is evident that both the weights are positively skewed. देखिए, another plot.design. देखिए, ये ओवरऑल मीन है, ये वेट स्पोर्टी का है वेट, और ये हमारा, ये मीन है किसका? Mean is around this, that is of actually weight is sporty, and this one is for lazy, and this is the overall mean. So lazies are having higher weights as compared to sporty women. See, in the above plot, the big horizontal line, this horizontal line represents overall mean. This represents overall mean, whereas small horizontal lines, these two lines, this one and this one, they represent the weight of sporty, WTS, and weight of lazy, WTL. From this plot, it is evident that sporty has much less weight than the lazy. So this is the interpretation. Then I am going to talk about analysis of variance to compare more than two groups. T-test cannot be used, and one has to go for analysis of variance. See, I have taken a calcium trial data from a book that is a great book on, there are some great books on data analysis. One is Statistical Methods by Sandeker and Cochran. And actually, that was the manual of Iowa Stat Lab of Iowa State University. And nowadays, this book, actually, the title of the book, I'm unable to recall. It is, all the authors, they are in Rothamsted Agriculture Station, UK. And they have written the book that is Statistical Methods in Biology by Wilhelm et al. Statistical Methods in Biology, Design of Experiment and Regression Analysis. This is the title of the book. And actually, this book is also having a large number of data sets which are related to agricultural experiments, agricultural and environmental sciences. And actually, they have analyzed that data. This is the data, and that data, they have given our commands also on the book's website. So you can read that book and you can enjoy a lot. Here in a calcium trial data, 4 levels of concentration of calcium were used as A is equal to 1, B is equal to 5, C is equal to 10, and D is equal to 20. And the root length in centimeter was the response. Create the data and analyze it into R using analysis of variance technique. So how to create calcium? Expand.grid. This is the data object. Expand.grid replication. How many replicates are there? paste, actually paste is a function in R which paste R1, R2, R3, R4 and R5. So there are 5 levels of R, replicate, and then concentration, how many levels? 4 levels, these 4 levels. So once you run this expand.grade, it will generate the design. It will generate the design. And then we will add responses, the root length, to add calcium, and then use the name of the column length, and you create this vector. So it will be added into the calcium object. See here, when I printed header, no calcium, no length column. But after adding this column, we are getting the result, length is added. Now we can save this into a file, and the name of the file is calcium.txt, write.table. Get analysis of variance, calcium, these are the replicate column, concentration and length. These are the 3 columns. Replicate column, concentration and length. And C, we are using fit calcium underscore AOV is equal to AOV, analysis of variance, length versus concentration, and data frame is calcium. So here, this one is the response, numeric, and concentration is the factor variable. It has 4 levels. 4 levels are A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. So it will analyze the data. It will report. See, this is the analysis of variance. Concentration has 4 levels. So 4 minus 1, 3. And this is the residual. Capital, this 20 minus 4, so it will be 16. Sum of square, mean sum of square, F value, and this is the P value. P value 0.004 means what? I have made an interpretation. From above summary of results, it is evident that there is significant difference among the 4 groups of concentrations of calcium in terms of root length, of course, as P value, which is nothing but probability greater than F, is 0.0049, which is much less than 0.05. If P value is less than 0.05, that means we are rejecting the null hypothesis. And what is null hypothesis? All the 4 concentration of calcium are giving on average same response, and that is being rejected because your P value is less than 0.05. Now we shall have to look into pairwise comparisons using Tukey's HSD, Tukey's honest significant difference. Tukey's honest significant difference analysis. See, actually there are many methods, and Tukey's honest is one among the best methods. Tukey's HSD, and it has been implemented into R as well as into the Python also. So this is one of the best methods to make pairwise comparisons. The function is Tukey HSD. This is the fitted object, and which factor you want to compare, pairwise concentration factor. So these are the B concentration of B versus A. The difference is 11.6, and this difference P value shows it is not significant. Whereas D versus A, the difference is -18, and actually the P value shows this difference is statistically significant. Similarly, C versus B is not significant. D versus B, it is significant because it is less than 0.05. D versus C is also significant. So this way, from the P value, it is evident that D versus A, D versus B, and D versus C are significant contrasts. There is significantly, they are differing significantly different from 0. It is also to be noted that corresponding intervals of these contrasts do not contain 0. On the other hand, see, those which are significant, they are not crossed by this plot. Just plot out one. Your fitted object is out one. You just use the command plot out one, you will get this plot. See, now which are significant. This is the vertical line of no difference. So if you look into this one, D versus C, it is significant. Negative difference D versus C, and it is statistically significant because it is not being crossed by the vertical line. D versus B is significant. What about C versus B? What about C versus B? It is significant or not? Tell me. C versus B. What about C versus B?
Sir, it is not significant.
Because it is being crossed by the vertical line at 0.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But D versus A? it is significant. C versus
Yes,
A,
sir.
not significant,
Not significant. Not
So what we do,
significant.
this Cooke's plot, actually, this shows the interval, its median value also, mean value also, and interval and mean value of difference, and then the statistical significance is also. So from above plot, it is clear that vertical dashed line at 0 is not crossing the intervals of significant contrast. So this was the classical analysis. Now I'm going to talk about the Bayesian modeling with R-stand ARM. Actually, ARM is an abbreviation. ARM is a package in R, which is an implementation of a great book of Gilman and Hill. Gilman and Hill. And the title of the book is virtually Data Analysis Using Regression and Hierarchical / Multi-Level Models. And that book implements virtually a package that is ARM. But now, actually, they have used bugs for data analysis in that, Bayesian analysis using Gibbs sampling. But they found some of the problems in bugs. So they developed a new language. They are at Columbia, Gilman and his group. They are at Columbia University, and they have developed a new package and new language of Bayesian modeling, new probabilistic language, and that language is STAN. Stanley Sulmas was one among the two authors who gave the concept of simulation in 1949. Then virtually they published in paper in 1953. So idea of simulation is very old, but virtually due to non-availability of computing machines, these ideas were not being used. Nowadays, simulations are one of the best tools for data analysis and graphics. So here, this is one package, R-stand ARM. This is the R-stand implementation of ARM package. Bayesian statistics is an approach to statistics which formally seeks use of prior information along with the data. These two sources of information can be combined together to reach final inference. The package R-stand ARM of Gabry and Goodrich 2020 is the R implementation of these. You have to install R-stand ARM, install that packages, then require or load the library, names WT stack, you need what are the variables, and then here actually it will be GLM, generalized linear model, in classical, but here in Bayesian, in R-stand, in actually in stat software, but here GLM stands for generalized linear model, and STAN underscore, so it is STAN implementation into R-stand ARM. You just write this function. This is the formula, weight versus mean, woman, weight versus women, and actually data is WT stack. We have already discussed this stack data, WT stack data. Weight versus, this is the women is the sporty and lazy. So this is the factor variable and this is the numeric variable. Once you run, it immediately goes for simulation and it gives the result. It gives the result. See, say like mean intercept. Here, women's weight S is sporty, WT is sporty. So it is a contrast of sporty versus lazy. And see, this contrast is negative. So this shows that lazies are having lesser weight, and that's why the difference is negative. And see, this is the mean, and this is the mean of the regression coefficients, and this is the corresponding SD, and this is the 10th to 90th percentile, 10th percentile, 50th percentile, and 90th percentile. Actually, it does not include 0. So that means the difference between sporty as well as lazy is statistically significant. So this is the interpretation. There are some other things too. These are the graphic outputs regarding R hat. If R hat is closer to 1, so that means your convergence is good. That relates to the Bayesian simulation. So those who want to understand, to use simulation tools to understand data analysis, that actually these concepts are discussed by that book on management or for marketing research and analytics also. And actually all the modern books of data analysis, they are dealing with simulation, and mainly they are using this ARIST and AR. See, M1 is the fitted object with the stand GLM. M1 is the fitted object which fits the model. These are the numeric summaries. Get a graphic summary. Plot M1 prob is equal to 0.95. See, so this is the plot, and this is the plot which we get sigma. Of course, 0 is here, so 0 is not here, it is just at the border, and we have seen that it is significant because this is not being crossed by the vertical line. This one intercept is also significant, so this is known as caterpillar plot. This is the 95%. This is the posterior interval. This is the posterior interval. See, this does not contain 0, and that's why this effect, the difference between sporty and lazy women, is statistically significant. So this is the posterior interval. Posterior interval, it talks about the average estimate, and predictive, actually it talks about the individual responses, and these are the intervals. This is known as, actually in the modern days of machine learning, people talk about the predictive analysis. So that predictive analysis can be done by this stand software, and there are many functions. Predict, this is to get predictive intervals graphics. So all these things deal with the predictive analytics in machine learning actually. Bayesian analysis of calcium data, one-way ANOVA. I have already analyzed this classically, and here this is the structure of the data, and we are fitting with the stand GLM. See, and this is the summary of results. Understand, and its explanation is, its graphic explanation is like this. See, the concentration of intercept is of course significant. See, B versus, A is absent, so the factor which is absent, that becomes the reference point. So it is a concentration B, means it is the difference between concentration B versus concentration A, and that difference is positive and statistically significant also, because it is not being crossed. Whereas between concentration C and A, it is not significant. Between D and A, it is negative and significant. Sigma is of course differently from 0. So it is evident from this plot that D versus A means this one, and B versus A, that means this one, is significant. Whereas D versus C, it is not D versus C virtually. It is C versus this one. It is virtually C versus A. It is not C. It should be C versus A, which is not significant. Now, posterior predictive check. When we fit a model in predictive analytics, we want to know these are the observations, these are the responses which are being simulated, and this is one which is being observed. Why is being observed? This is the root density function of the observed root length, and these are simulated observations. See, since observed density is well mixed with simulated density, so that means our virtually the predictive performance of the model is good. The function is pp_check, pp check, posterior predictive check. So this is the posterior predictive check to look into the predictive performance of a model. Understand? So we are using this command. These things are quite simple and nice graphics you get. See, like, just plot mcalc, you are getting this plot, caterpillar plot, which talks about significance of the regression coefficients. This pp check, it talks about the predictive performance of the model. Then another thing, that is Bayesian LU-IC. Actually, normally those who begin with the statistics or older literature of the statistics, they talk about R square. Are you familiar with R square? R square, you know? Roli, Shukla, do you know what is R square, beta?
No, sir.
R square, anybody who can talk about R square measure? Yes. Khushbu? Khushbu?
जी सर.
Can you describe what is R square?
R square.
Actually, R square is a measure which talks about the proportion of variability explained by the model. Understand? R square talks about, it measures the proportion of variability explained by the model. So people use R square, and if R square is closer to 1, the high variability, most of the variability is explained by the model. If R square is closer to 0 side, then less variability is explained by the model. But actually, there are problems with R square measure, and that's why people are not believing in that. So other criterion for model comparison are developed by the statisticians, and virtually they are like AIC and BIC, Akaike information criteria and Bayesian information criteria, that is based on likelihood theory. But nowadays in the hello. Nowadays, people are talking about the cross-validation techniques. These are the techniques which are common, which are popular in machine learning. Understand? And nowadays, people are talking of data science, machine learning. Understand? So cross-validation is also a tool of machine learning, and actually, it is basically a statistical tool. And even all these things are nicely described in a book, and the title of the book is virtually Statistical Learning with R. Statistical Learning with R. They have given very nice examples, and that is a great book on machine learning. So here we shall talk about LUIC. See, LUIC, and that is Bayesian way of LUIC. LU stands for leave one out criteria. We leave one and then we analyze, then we leave another one and then we analyze. So that is a technique which is known as cross-validation technique. Leave one out criteria is a criteria to check the predictive ability of the fitted model. It is meant for comparing model on the basis of LU criteria, leave one out. Actually, the concept came by Vehtari et al. In 2017. The latest version of that is 2020. Here, we are fitting it for a single model. For comparing two or more models, lower value of LUIC, leave one out criteria, indicates better fit of the model. The package LUIC is developed by Vehtari et al. Is an implementation of all these. This is the LU package. You know, R stand ARM is for regression analysis. LU, leave one out criteria, it is again a package which is mainly based on stand language, R stand language, and it talks about leave one out criteria. And there is a package Bayes plot. So Bayes plot is for graphics. All these graphics which I am showing here, all these graphics, they are due to the Bayes plot software, and all these softwares are freely available on the website, on the CRAN, so you can download. Required LU, the function is LU mcalc. See here, we are just computing and we are getting the result. Then regression analysis LM with linear model, analysis of US air data, which is discussed by Wang et al. 2018. Wang et al., the name of the book is Bayesian Regression Modeling with INLA. INLA, it is a book published by CRC Press. See, virtually this US error is a data which is discussed in the book, a famous book on virtually regression modeling by, which is very popular among econometricians, and that is probably published by John Wiley. And the book is written by Chatterjee and Hadi Ali. So Wang et al., this is another book, Bayesian regression modeling with INLA. INLA stands for integrated nested Laplace approximation. Virtually, nowadays, people are talking about big data analytics. So the problem of big data is that if data is big in terms of number of rows, in terms of variables, in terms of quantum, virtually the analysis becomes very slow. So for that, people are virtually developing these simulation tools. But the problem with simulation tools is that they are slow. So our developers, they develop a package that is INLA. INLA stands for Integrated Nested Laplace Approximations. So actually all the integrals which are involved in Bayesian analysis, they are being approximated by analytic approximation. And the basic approximation was given by Laplace in 1774. Actually, what they do, they compare the integral with the normal distribution, and because of it has very excellent qualities also. And J.K. Ghosh, he is no more now. He has been ex-director of ISI. He has also contributed in the field of Laplace approximation. And he says it is a small sample asymptotics. If your data is very small, even then it works well, although theoretically it is good for large. So INLA is a package which is very good for virtually big data analytics, and it is an excellent package. And this book is Bayesian regression modeling by Wang et al. This is a book which deals with INLA. They have developed their own package also, BR INLA, which provides their data sets and functions. So this US air data, this is an environmental data, carbon disulfide, negative temperature, manner of population, wind, precipitation, days. So this data actually we have fitted with LM. LM SO2. SO2 is the response, and till this is Y. Till dot. Dot stands for all the remaining variables in this data object, they will be included in the model as predictor. Understand? So SO2 is the common disulfide, actually, this SO2. Disulfide, virtually this will be the response, and all these are as predictors. So this way we can model, just write the dot, otherwise you have to write tilde this, negative temperature plus manufact plus pop plus wind plus precip plus days. So you have to write a big formula. So to avoid that, just put a dot, and actually all these concepts are discussed by Minkilson and Rogers. And virtually this same type of formula implementation has been adopted into Python also. So this formula implementation has been adapted into S+, into R, and into Python also. So this is the interpretation of this formula. SO2 is the response, and remaining are predictors. So this is the data from which this data US here, which will read, and it will fit the model, linear model, and we are getting the coefficients and estimates and their standard errors. Then stepwise regression. It may be noted that except wind and precipitation and days, all the predictors are significant. See, those which are having p-value C, see this one, negative temperature is significant, manuf is significant, pop is significant, wind is not significant because it is not less than 0.05. Precipitation is also not significant, and days is also not significant. So these three variables, they are not significantly related with the SO2, but they are significant. They are significantly contributing in the production of SO2. So this is the analysis, regression analysis, multiple regression analysis. Now stepwise regression, see what we are going to do in stepwise regression. It may be noted that except wind, precipitation, and days, all the predictors are significant. We can use stepwise regression to see which variables are to be dropped. The question arises that which variables are to be dropped. We will make use of the criteria, and that is stepwise. Step AIC, this is the function. We are not selecting the variables on the basis of R square. We are selecting on the basis of Akaike information criteria, and see that it is available in the mass package. Mass package is a package of R. Actually, there is a great book, Modern Applied Statistics with S+. This is written by Venables and Ripley and published by Springer. It is a great book on data analysis and actually computing. So Venables is in Australian National University and Ripley is in Oxford. So they have written this great book. This is a great book to read. But actually the 4th edition of the book was published in 2002, and that contains S+ and R both. So, and this mass package is that of R only. So step I is the function. This is the fitted object. This is the fitted object, you know, M1 US error. This is the fitted object. So this is the argument of the fitted object. Trace is equal to false. It will not give the trace. It will give the final result. See what happens. See, it started with all these, and final model is what? Negative temperature, manufacturing power, wind, and precipitation. So this is the final model. See, precipitation we were having here not significant, but they have, and wind also not significant, but they are not being dropped by this model, by this criteria of step AIC. So it recommends that we should use them as a part of the model. The only days is dropped from the model. The days is dropped from the model. Rest, actually the step regression criteria, it says that only days should be dropped from the model, remaining not. Here I am going to talk about factorial experiment with 2 factors in RBT. You know, the father of you, do you know who is the father of statistics? Who is the father of statistics? Do you know anybody who is the father of statistics? Sir Ronald Fisher. You know, in 1912, Sir Ronald Fisher published a paper on virtually maximum likelihood estimation, and virtually as a UG student he published his paper. So he became so popular that he was offered a faculty position in the University College at Cambridge, but he refused to join University College Cambridge, and he preferred to join Rothamsted Agricultural Station because he wanted to know how data is being generated and how data is being analyzed, and actually he wanted to have direct connection with the data analyst. Understand? So, and he developed many concepts of statistics like this factorial experiment. The real development of statistics as a technology was made after the concept of virtually the concept of this factorial experiment. When Fisher gave in 1920s this concept of factorial experiment, people started using it. The data pain relief discussed by Wang et al., Bayesian regression modeling within CRC Press, is a data in which response is the pain relief, score, relief, pain level is the blocking factor, and 2 treatment factors with 2 levels are codenine and acupuncture. Details are available with the INLA book, this book. So what we are doing, we are changing, this is the data frame, and actually this is available with the BR INLA package. And what we are doing here, we are converting this pain relief lever into a factor, blocking factor. Codenine is also, this is a treatment factor. We are converting into a factor. Here acupuncture is also being converted into a factor. Then we fit the model using LM. LM relief versus pain. This is the blocking factor. And here you know, coordinating verse and star acupuncture. This is star A. This is a kind of A star B. So this consists of the main effect of coordinating, the main effect of acupuncture, and interaction effect of coordinating and acupuncture. Understand? So this is a short way of writing the things. And this is the, these are the estimates, and this is the analysis of variance. See, these block level, pain level, one is missing, so that becomes a reference level. And see, all these are the significant differences. So that means blocking benefits a lot. And the effect of coordinating is also significant because, you know, p value is 1.54, and acupuncture level 2 versus 1 is also significant. And the interaction is at the border. It is not significant. Understand? So an R square, it shows 0.9739. So that means what? 97% of the variability is explained by the model. Adjusted R square, you see here 0.97, here 0.96. Actually, adjusted R square is a better measure than R square because it adjusts for the number of predictors. Understand? In R square, if you increase the number of predictors, actually R square increases. So actually the concept came into existence long back in 18th century, in 19th century rather, that adjusts for the number of predictors. So here this is the result. So this is all about the virtually the implementation of the analysis of a factorial experiment with two factors in randomized block design. Here, graphic summary of above object. The object, this one is numeric summary, now graphic summary. We are using, I have already talked about the ARM package of Gilman and Hill. We can have a nice graphic summary of above fitted object using QF plot of ARM package of Gilman and Siu 2020. This plot provides statistical inference in graphic output. See, acupuncture 2 versus 1, because it is being crossed by the 0, it is not significant. Remaining all these, the coordinating versus actually the other level significant, pain level 8 versus the 1 significant, 7 versus 1 is significant. These are significant, except pain level 2 versus pain level 1 is not significant. Understand? So this is the graphic summary. This gives the estimates of the regression coefficient as well as their statistical significance also. And this is known as caterpillar plot. And this we can get, require ARM package, install ARM, require QF plot, just use the command QF plot. And this is the fitted object M2 pain. This fitted object, it will give you this plot. Look into the graphics. I've already talked about plot.design. This is the data. Lash is equal to 2 means to put them perpendicular to this. See which factor is causing more variability. Can you interpret this? This is the overall mean. These are the means of the pain level. These are the means of coordinating, and these are the means of acupuncture. So which one is affecting more, which factor? Can you interpret this graph? Yes, pain level, because variability is more. These two are almost same. Their effect is almost same. Understand? So this plot means, this plot of means is self-explanatory. Long horizontal line represents the overall mean, whereas small horizontal lines represent the means at different levels of factor. We can have corresponding box plot also. देखिए आप पेन रिलीफ का कोडेनिन में ये देखिए ये फर्क है, एक्यूपंक्चर में भी ये फर्क है. So these are the box plot, है ना. Now we shall talk about ridge regression for multicollinearity. The function is LM ridge in mass package. You know, multicollinearity is a problem in econometrics in regression analysis. See, when predictors are highly correlated, the problems of multicollinearity arises in which standard error of regression coefficient gets inflated or unstable. we take a data of French economy in which import is, actually this has been discussed by in the book on regression modeling by Hadi Ali, Chatterjee and Hadi Ali. So that is French economy data in which import is the response and predictors are domestic production, stock formation, and domestic consumption. So this data is available with the package BRINLA. You can install that header of the data, and actually this correlation coefficient shows what? There is high correlation between stock and consumption. See, and this creates the problem of multicollinearity. There is high correlation between consumption and DOR or D. So these high correlations, these are the predictors which are highly correlated, and they create problem in the regression modeling. So see the high correlation between DOR, dot rod and consumption. This will cause the problem of multicollinearity. First, we scale the data. Scaling, there is a function scale. Scale means from each observation, from each response, what we do, we subtract mean and divide by the SD. So that is scaling. We are scaling and virtually except the first two columns, because the first two columns, see, the first two columns in the data are year and virtually import is the response. So except those two, remaining all the predictors, they are being scaled. And just actually for scaling, people do a lot of calculation, but here this is a very simple command, scale, and it will return the scale data, and this scale data will be fitted. The function is lmridge, import versus DRDO, and see data is fe.scale. So actually fe.scale is this data which is scaled, and we are fitting the model and we are getting the result. We are getting stable estimates. See, here we are going to talk about regression with autoregressive errors. Autoregressive errors, actually here, error, this one, there is a basic assumption with error is that they are not correlated. But here in autoregressive models, in time series data, errors are related to each other. So this one is related with this T-1, and this is known as, this is the concept of first order autoregressive process, AR1 model. And virtually, this has been implemented into NLME package of R, and we can analyze this data by using the package NLME, and we are getting the results. So this is an implementation. Generalized linear models, actually, in linear models, we talk about the assumption of normality, but here we are going to analyze generalized linear model. Generalized linear model is an extension of linear model in which error distribution gets extended from normal to an exponential family of sufficient statistics. This family includes normal model, gamma, like if you have the lifetime data, if you have the fallow time data, if you have the rainfall data, then gamma better fits than the normal. Data is skewed. Poisson, then this is the discrete family. Bernoulli, when your response is 0, 1, 0, 1, we cannot fit linear model. We have to go for logistic regression model. Binomial, again, in which we put certain objects on trial and we count how many of them are failed. Understand? Negative binomial, thus continuous as well as discrete responses are taken into account. So this one is for continuous data, this one is for continuous data, this one is for discrete data, data in the form of counts, data in the form of binary, data in the form of virtually the counts again, and then here negative binomial. This is another variation of all these. It is better than these models in certain situations. Thus, continuous as well as discrete responses are taken into account. And consequently, a rich family of distributions can be fitted for discrete as well as continuous data. we shall begin with binary response data. Virtually, earlier people were transforming their data to meet the assumption of analysis of variance, because analysis of variance has many important assumptions which are supposed to fit. Otherwise, model cannot give the true result. So people, Nelder and Wedderburn, they wrote a paper in 1972, and they actually they presented their paper in Royal Society meeting, and they showed that there is no need of transformation. You can analyze your data into the original metric, and they generalized LM with GLM, generalized linear model. So here you can have a rich class of data which can be analyzed by GLM. So here we are going to talk about logistic regression model, low birth weight data. See, to illustrate the logistic regression model, in logistic regression model, our response is what? Our response is binary. Low birth, not low birth, like that. Pace, pass, fail. Business succeeded, business failed. So these are binary responses. And then we want to have many predictors. They can be continuous, they can be categorical also, and we can analyze them. So we are going to analyze a data set that contains information on 189 births to women seen in obstetric clinic, where data were collected as a part of a larger study of Bay State Medical Center in Springfield. The response variable low is a binary outcome indicating birth rate less than 2500 grams. If birth weight is less than 2500 grams, we say it is low birth weight. If it is greater than 2500 grams, we say it is normal weight. So which can be, which has been concern of physician for years. The predictors are age, LWT, race, smoking status, hypertension, UI, and FTV. The details of the data are available with the data object. Just you type require BR in law, load the data, load low birth weight. This is the data object available with BR in law. Just type help DW, help low BWT. You will get the details of the data. You will get the details of the data. See, these are the shorter details of the data frame. These are the 189 rows and 8 variables, and these variables are, this is the response variable, and remaining of them are the predictors. Like race has 3, smoking status has 2 levels, hypertension has 2 levels, UI has 2 levels, FTV, it is an integer, and actually age is numeric. So all these are predictors. We can model this data. First, what we did, we have converted them into the factors. Like factor of race, it is white, black, and others. Similarly, smoking status, no smoking, yes statin, yes, because in smoking actually it has 0, 1, it has actually 1, 2, 1, 2. So actually 0, 1, 2. So that has been converted into the factor level. HT, no, yes, hypertension. Similarly, UI, no, yes. So, and after this conversion into the factor levels, we have analyzed M1 low fitting the GLM. We are using GLM, generalized linear model, low birth weight. This is the binary response, and these are the predictors. Data is this. Family is binomial. It belongs to the binomial family, because normal, if you do not specify the family, it will be the Gaussian. So here family is binomial means it belongs to the binary response, and that's why we have to write family is binomial. And we are estimating the regression coefficient, and we are getting the Z value, and this is the P value. See, like low birth weight, LWT, and here race, black versus white, it is significant, low birth weight. Race, other versus white, it is significant. Smoke, yes versus no, it has significant effect of low birth weight. Hypertension, yes versus no, significant. This is also significant. FTV is not significant. And I have made an interpretation of all these, that how you will interpret in the case of this logistic regression model. Go through any standard book on generalized linear model, like the book of R for Marketing Research and Analytics by Chapman and Feet. That is a great book which deals with all these models, but they have taken data from marketing research. But that is a great book to learn R as well as all these interpretations. You can read this book also, the book of Wang et al. The book of Wang et al., which I have discussed here, the title of the book, this book. Oh, I'm unable to get. शुरू में हमने बताया था इसके बारे में, Wang et al. का book. ये Bayesian regression modeling within law. This is also a good book on statistical modeling or data analysis. Here we have taken, instead of virtually the Poisson regression model, here response is actually the time and death of AIDS patients. So this data has been analyzed. The relationship between time and death is nonlinear, and the frequency distribution of deaths, it is skewed, so we cannot use normal model. So we have to go for, it is a count data, number of deaths with AIDS patients. So we have to use the Poisson regression model. So here family is Poisson, number of deaths and log of the time actually, and the data is AIDS, it has been analyzed. And here, you know, the log of time is statistically significant because there is no vertical line at 0. So log of time is significantly linearly related with the number of virtually the deaths. Then negative binomial regression model, virtually it is used when over dispersion is found in the data. You know, for Poisson regression model, it is also for counts, but the problem is that we assume that mean and SD, they are same. Mean and variance, they are same virtually. Both are lambda, mean and SD. So actually that is known as actually homogeneity of the data. But if it does not mean, if there is dispersion in the data more, then we have to go for, or if data is contaminated with the number of zeros, inflated data with zeros, then in that situation we have to use virtually the negative binomial regression model. We are going to discuss CRAB data discussed by Agresti. Agresti is a book on categorical data analysis which discusses about generalized linear models, a lot data sets and a lot of methods. This is a book, Introduction to Categorical Data Analysis, published by John Wiley. And the same data is discussed by Wang et al. Understand, the response variable in this data set is the number of satellites for each female crab, and there are 4 predictors. C, and it is discussed in the law book. Virtually, here satellites, you know, this is a term of ecology. You know, there is a characteristics of female horseshoe crab is that it allows only one male crab in her nest. Remainings, they move around her nest, and they are termed as actually satellites. So those who move around her female, not just to improve the relationship with that female, they move around her nest, so they are termed as satellites. So how many satellites they are moving around the nest, that is the response. And there is, you know, there are many zeros, so it is contaminated by the zeros, and this is the color of the female crab, spine, then weight, width, all these things are the predictors, and the data has been analyzed, and actually in the mass package by using GLM.N. B stands for negative binomial, satellite versus color, and see here we are getting the p-values. So except width, none of them are statistically significant. And virtually, this is the analysis of data contaminated with zeros. These are the references. These are the references of the talk. These are the references. So that's all. Now, I think I should stop. Time is already over. Yes, Dayashankar ji. Is there anything, any questions from the audience, any clarification? I'm ready to reply.